I wanted a way to unwind at night without doom scrolling on Reels or TikTok, and I thought replacing that with gaming was a good idea, especially since there's studies coming out now that suggest there's certain cognitive benefits to gaming, like reaction time, memory, and just other stuff. I don't know, I'm not a scientist, but there's studies coming out that show that. I feel like gaming over social media is always a win. I wouldn't consider myself a gamer because as you get older, you got stuff to do, and I'm not gonna sit at a desk and play games. I've been using my Steam Deck nonstop since I got it at the beginning of the month, and I gotta say I haven't enjoyed gaming more than playing games on this thing. I'm rediscovering games I never fully got into, like Borderlands 3, which runs really good on the Steam Deck, getting consistent frame rate, and it's a really enjoyable experience. It's actually better on the Steam Deck than playing it on a full-fledged gaming PC. I don't think I could go back to gaming on a desk because the Steam Deck has just spoiled me. Having the ability to just play it on a couch or on your bed is way more enjoyable of an experience than getting your mouse and keyboard ready, all set up on the desk, especially since you're working at a desk. Most of the time when you go to a desk, you're going there for a purpose. It's a productivity purpose. When you load up a game, it's not fun. It's not fun playing games at the same place where you're doing work. So having this thing, it spoiled me. I don't think I could go back to playing on a desk. The Steam Deck's performance is the most impressive thing to me. And towards the end of the video, I'm going to give you a breakdown of the best games to play on the Steam Deck, because online you kind of always see the same three mentioned. So I'm going to give you, a couple of them might actually be in my list, but I'm going to give you some ones you've never heard of towards the end of the video, and we're going to talk more about that. Right out of the box, when you boot up the Steam Deck, what am I, from the 80s? Right when you start the Steam Deck up, log into your Steam, you're gonna probably have a bunch of games that are already compatible with the Steam Deck. And the beauty of it is you just download it, install it, and it just works. Even the ones that are completely unsupported can get running thanks to the internet and thanks to Reddit, because there's so many helpful people up. Hey, Reddit, you got a lot of helpful people over there. A good example of this is Call of Duty World at War. Steam says it's completely unsupported, but that wasn't gonna stop me from playing old school zombies on this thing. Turns out it actually does work, and it doesn't really require any workaround. So you just install it and then launch it, and then the Steam Deck will remap your mouse and your WASD keys. So that's kind of like weird because it says it's unsupported, but then when I install it and don't touch anything, it just works. So that's why go through your Steam library and you could just try launching stuff. And if it works, great. If it doesn't work, check Reddit and see if there's a fix. Part of what makes the Steam Deck so good is that it just works. It's like people that buy iPhones. You're buying an iPhone because 99% of the time you're just gonna use it and it's gonna work. The Steam Deck is the same way. It just performs how it should. There's no headaches. The UI is very easy to use, very easy to navigate. It just works. Even installing emulators on the Steam Deck is just such an effortless procedure. So we're gonna get to that a little bit later on, but everything is just thought out and designed to just work, which is just beautiful. From the games you run to navigating around to just the UI in general, it all just works, and it all just works well. But it's not all roses. So here's a few things you need to keep in mind if you're thinking about getting one. Battery life is only acceptable. There's no other way of saying it, but it's not great and it's not horrible. It's just acceptable. Obviously, it depends what you play. With lighter titles, you're gonna see better battery life, but don't expect like 10 hours of consistent playtime. With more intensive stuff though, you will considerably notice how much faster it gets chewed up. An easy solution to getting more battery life is just getting a battery pack. So if you want to take this on a longer flight or a road trip, all you got to do is make sure it supports 45 watts of charging, and then you're good to go. Next thing to keep in mind is that it's not super portable. You could certainly bring it places because it is a handheld, but it's a lot more bulky than I was expecting. So if you're thinking about bringing this, playing it on public transport, I feel like it's going to be a weird experience, but you can definitely bring it places. I would bring it on a flight, on a road trip, or to like a separate location, but I wouldn't bring it kind of like on the go in a backpack or anything. I feel like it's just best suited to move around the house or take to another physical location. But what I just said, so why am I repeating myself? It's definitely portable, but on the go gaming is just, I don't know, I feel like it'd be a kind of awkward experience. Obviously that depends how comfortable you are, so here are the dimensions, and here's it compared to a 16-inch MacBook Pro. This last thing really isn't a complaint, it's just rather a suggestion on how to make the Steam Deck better. I feel like it'd be really sick to be able to run Spotify or another music app, or maybe even a podcast app, and have stuff run in the background while you're playing games. Maybe include it somewhere on the side UI, but having this natively in the Steam Deck would be really sick. Maybe someone has a mod or something online, but if Valve did this, I feel like this would make the Steam Deck so much better and just a really big improvement to the quality of life of the person using it, because being able to play something and listen to something and adjust the volume, you know, obviously accordingly, that would be really sick. Now that we have that out of the way, let's talk about games. I want to give you guys my favorite games. So the first thing I started playing was Dead Cells. That was the thing I clocked the most amount of hours in. That is probably the best Steam Deck game. It looks like it's built for Steam Deck. It's best played with controller. Second, obviously, Borderlands 3, and then Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. That's a game that has been recommended for the Steam Deck on basically every website you see, but I think it's a really great game to play and a very easy game to get into. Also, Shredders is a lesser known game that I didn't even know about, but it's like a snowboarding version of the Skate series, so I think the physics in it, the graphics are great, the mechanics, everything about that game is just satisfying, so that's a lesser known game you should check out. And then I have a soft spot for Lego Star Wars because that's a game I grew up with. So Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, I know, I'm a grown man, but that's a game that's really fun on this. There's plenty of games on Steam, plenty of genres, so you're sure to find something you like. But if that's still not enough for you, you can install emulators on your Steam Deck, and you know damn well that I did. EmuDeck is the gold standard for emulators on Steam Deck, and that's basically what you want to use. So I'll leave links down below if you're interested in installing that. But the way emulators run on the Steam Deck and the ease in how the Steam Deck handles these emulators make it just an even better buy. Like, not only can you play your PC games and your Steam library, but you could just play any retro console or even newer consoles. You know, I'm looking at you, Nintendo Switch, just straight from the Steam Deck handheld. It's great. It's just makes the Steam Deck a better purchase. I popped in a 256 gigabyte microSD card, which, by the way, is such a cheap and easy way of getting more storage, and you can also just hot swap them. So if you have some games on this one, some games on another one, just pop them in and out, and the Steam Deck will immediately recognize the library of games. So I use that card solely for the emulator stuff. So I installed EmuDeck and all my ROMs, and then the rest of that space is just taken up by more Steam games. But I kind of wanted the emulator to live compartmentalized on that SD card. It's worth mentioning that I went for the LCD base model, which I have no complaints about it. The screen to me has really good colors, really good detail, and I think for the value, for the price, it's very hard to beat the base LCD model. Once you start looking at the OLED models, the price jumps up quite a bit, and I know the OLED is definitely better. You do get a bigger battery, but I feel like for the price, you can't beat the LCD model. If you want throw the most money at getting the best looking screen, the best device, the best Steam Deck, yeah, you're gonna go with the OLED, but for the price, for most of you that want good value for your dollar, you're gonna wanna go with the LCD model because it's very hard to beat at that price tag. So that's my experience with the Steam Deck. I also wanna mention I really like the ability of having a handheld. It kind of brings me back to when I had my PSP as a kid, and just being able to bring that around the house and play it wherever you want, next to whoever you want, like just you could chill out and play that. I feel like having these handhelds come back again, maybe thanks to Nintendo introducing the Switch, but whether it's the ROG Ally or the Steam Deck, they make gaming portable again, and it's a really fun thing to see because that's something that kind of was diminishing and then now it's made a comeback. So I don't know, that's cool. As somebody who doesn't have time for gaming that much, and having the ability to unwind with this has really made a good positive experience to get rid of all that doom scrolling. I think a lot of people who wouldn't consider themselves a gamer like myself would benefit from having one of these, and I think it's worth it for a lot of people. I don't regret buying it one bit. Might I say this is the best purchase of 2025 that I've done. So I don't know, take that for what you will, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you pick one up. Let me know if you have one and what your favorite games are. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Peace out.